This is not new news. It is for me. I'm just catching up, I guess, but maybe you're one of those like me that's just catching up. But it seems back in 2015 that Walmart changed their policy and no longer requires a PIN if your purchase is under $50. So, yes, the banks and the processors, it all has to go through them, so they have to allow it, but it's the merchant that has to request it. So, without question, Walmart won't be the only one to do this. Now, without question, this is because Walmart has become greedy. And to think that they are willing to allow a card to pass through their machine that could be fraud. It could be somebody that stole your card and they don't care. $50 is $50, right? But Walmart just changed their policy back in 2015. Let me read this to you. It says Walmart changes its debit card policy. It says you may have noticed a change in the routine when you use your debit card at a local Walmart store. A PIN number is no longer required. For many of us, swiping a credit card, or a debit card, should say, is daily routine. It's how Jeff Baker prefers to pay, in part because of the security of typing in a PIN number. That changed last week after a trip to Walmart. He says, my bill ended up being $16, Baker said. When I checked out, I used my debit card, swiped it, and it said, thank you very much. Have a nice day. It never asked me for my PIN code. That's the normal today at these mega stores. That's the new normal at the mega store for Walmart. But I don't think Walmart's the only one that's going to do this, people. I think a lot of the stores, big mega stores, are going to start doing this, which several months ago implemented this policy. Customers are only required to type in a debit card PIN if the bill is $50 or more. It's a frustration for Baker, who dealt with fraud on his debit card in a separate incident just 2 months ago. He says we need to be increasing security, not decreasing it, he said. Every time we take a step back from security, it just benefits the thieves. It does not benefit the consumer. According to Better Business Bureau, if fraud does occur on your debit card, it will likely be covered by your bank. Zero liability coverage, which is what I told you about PayPal. They said they will cover it with no problem. A Walmart company spokesman said the change is about convenience. Can you believe it? Convenience. Like putting in a PIN number is not convenient, right? A four-digit PIN number is so inconvenient, isn't it? But the store is also taking steps to increase security, like installing credit card chip readers at every register, which considered safer than swiping your card. Debit card chip readers are expected to be added by October. Of course, this was back in 2015. Baker knows the new policy likely isn't going anywhere, and he'll take an extra second before swiping at the register. I'm going to have to think about what I have to use, he said. What's going to protect me when the companies should be the one protecting the consumers? Now, let me tell you, folks, I think the safest way to handle this, sadly, we are at this juncture. I think it's time that we use a temporary debit card. The amount of money that we're going to use that day, for that whole day, I guess you could say, for groceries, whatever, that we put our money on that temporary card. Because if someone gets a hold of your debit card, they can take up to $50 from your checking account. That may not be a lot of money for some folks, but for some of us, $50 out of our debit account or our checking account is a lot of money. Now, we don't know how long it takes to get reimbursed for that money, right? PayPal says they do it instantly and then they reissue you a new card. I don't know how other banks are going to handle this. I would think that with big banks that they're going to give people a hard time. They're going to put them through some rigorous steps in order to get that money back. But and maybe it takes 24 hours or whatnot. But if they'll do it at $50, maybe it's just a matter of time before they'll go up to $100. But as I told you in the previous message, I do believe that this is going closer and closer to a cashless society. Notice that Walmart said the reason that they did this was for the purpose of convenience. How much more convenient can it be to stick a chip in your right hand or your forehead? Right? How much convenient can it be to swipe your hand or walk through the checkout? My wife and I were talking about this the other day. Pretty soon you'll walk into a warehouse and your groceries, you can call in ahead of time. They'll have them ready sitting on a pallet. And you just go in, give them your number, your check number to go in, to pull that grocery order, and you'll pick up your groceries. And you'll walk out. And it'll be no money transaction as far as going up to a register or anything. It'll all be done through your chip. Before they get there, we know right now Starbucks, I think it's Starbucks. Is it? No, it's not Starbucks. It's Amazon, the new Amazon stores. You just walk in and walk out. No longer do you need to go to a register. These are the newest stores online right now at Amazon. Folks, we are moving closer and closer to what we read about in the book of Revelation. It is happening. And it's not because they can't make it safer with just keeping the PIN number in place. I found out why Walmart's not doing it. You all want to know why? Because the processor, the banks and the processors, it cost more money for the merchant to require a PIN number. Did you know that? So this is about Walmart saving money. This has nothing to do with convenience. Pass this video on. Let others know. I'd like to hear your comments on this as well.